This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Stephanie Roberts. It is Wednesday, October 11th. Actually, it is Thursday, October 12th. Let's move this week on, shall we? Thank you for joining us this morning. Sometimes I read instead of think, John. Meteorologist John Scalzi with us out there. But I have to admit, I had to stop. I know it's Thursday. I know it is. Please let it be Thursday.
I hear you. I hear you. Once you get to Wednesday, you got to keep going.
Absolutely. And we're so close now. We
Little
can do
Friday.
This.
Yeah,
we're almost
Little
there.
Friday. Almost there. Hey, we have a few more rain showers on the maps this morning. We have some plume of moisture kind of inching its way closer to the state of Florida, enhancing our rainfall chances and cloud cover for the weekend. Now, that's kind of a double-edged sword. It will reduce our daytime high temperatures, which have been so high and above average over the last several days, but it'll also bring us those better chances of afternoon showers. Let's go to the boards. You can see those showers gradually moving in toward Palm Beach County right now. Nothing that's going to move into our area this morning. We have rain-free conditions across our locations. As we head into the afternoon, maybe an isolated shower. That's really about it. Otherwise, we'll wait for the weekend as that plume of cloud cover that you see out in the Atlantic there kind of inches its way a little bit closer and enhances our rainfall chances. For today, we'll put the rainfall chance at 10% of that. And daytime highs, again, warm near the 90-degree mark. Complete forecast details coming up in a few.
All right. Thank you very much, John. Taking a look at first alert traffic. I guess we're going to go to that in just a little bit. Instead, we will start with our top story at this hour. In Northern California, a growing wildfire disaster. The return of high winds is pushing flames into new territory. Nearly a dozen fires tearing through wine country forced entire towns to evacuate overnight. At least 23 people are now confirmed dead. Officials say the worst is far from over. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest from Santa Rosa.
22 fires are still burning in California, pushing firefighters to their limits, unable to gain control of the flames as they battle against the wind.
We're trying to make a path for it so it comes up to that path and then stops.
The numbers are staggering. Over 170,000 acres, roughly 4 times the size of D.C., have burned. Over 20,000 people displaced. Over 3,500 structures damaged or destroyed. Residents who have been able to return to their homes are finding there's nothing left.
Everybody's house is gone.
But this Iraq War veteran did find one cherished item he came looking for.
Your personal dog tags?
Yeah, the ones I deployed with. It was like all burned up now.
Wow.
After I deployed, I gave them to my dad, and he had them hanging in his man cave.
In the heart of wine country, officials went door to door in Calistoga County, urging residents to get out.
Everybody says it's the wind that's going to come our way, and we, might end up losing the house.
The wine industry in California employs hundreds of thousands, and right now it's too early to estimate the damage these fires have done to the $50 billion a year industry.
This is where all the wines were made and fermented.
And while most of these fires are burning in the northern part of the state, several fires have broken out further south, closing major highways around Los Angeles.
We're in the middle of a red flag warning right now. That's the highest possible alert issued by the National Weather Service. And firefighters have been up against a fierce fight overnight as they try to stop devastation like this from happening in any other neighborhoods. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Santa Rosa, California.
And closer to home, a Florida man and 3 dogs are dead because of a house fire in central Florida. Polk County Fire Rescue says the house was completely engulfed in flames when firefighters arrived only 6 minutes after the 911 call. Authorities say 6 other family members were able to escape the fire, and the cause is still being investigated. It is Fire Prevention Week, and this year's theme is Every Second Counts, Plan 2 Ways Out. This is a reminder for everyone to map out their homes and plan out exit routes. Practice fire drills twice a year, one during the day and one at night. And in case of a fire, close the doors behind you as to not let the heat out. Once you're outside, stay outside. Never go back inside a burning building. Palm trees, we see them everywhere here in Florida, but you now may notice some of the fronds on the trees turning brown rather than staying green. That's because a new disease is quickly killing palm trees in the Sunshine State. Discolored fronds, dropped fruit, dead flowers, these are all symptoms of the Texas Phoenix palm decline. It is common for the disease to jump from tree to tree, especially if those trees are close to one another. The disease was first identified in 2006 in areas of central Florida, including Sarasota.
One of the main culprits is something called the plant hopper, and it basically carries that disease over to a palm, feeds on the palm, and then the disease is relayed over to that new palm.
The pathogen really becomes a lot larger on the inside, and the amount of insects that will feed and go to other palms in the neighborhood is probably more of the deterrent that we're trying to worry about versus one palm dying.
Experts disagree on how to treat this. Some say good old-fashioned TLC should do the trick. Others say the trees need to be injected with an antibiotic or maybe even remove the tree altogether. Even so, it's unclear how many trees are affected by the Texas Phoenix palm decline. Horticulture experts say they're only able to figure out the cause of death for about 25% of trees because most end up removed before a diagnosis. Many operating citrus groves and shops are hurting because of Hurricane Irma. Farmers and fruit growers are now assessing the damage, which will likely be significant. ABC's Dwayne Lindo tells us about this impact on our local crops.
All right, total is 16.
Here at Fruitville Grove in Sarasota, pumpkins are now the flavor of the month. But they're still dealing with the damage Hurricane Irma has inflicted on Florida's citrus industry.
In different areas, anywhere from mildly affected to very severely affected.
Owner Kim White says her crops were severely affected.
With all of that wind, it literally shakes the green fruit right off the trees.
And it shows. 16 acres of citrus trees are completely bare. White says the damage it's done is unprecedented.
It's to the point of being devastating for some.
And says it won't be only business owners feeling the repercussions of the storm.
We will struggle this year. It will be very, very difficult. You can expect probably higher prices.
And not only were orange groves affected, but beehives were affected as well. Honeybees are used to pollinate many of Florida's state crops.
They pollinate everything they're near. So without that, the whole world would collapse.
Sarasota company My Sweetest Honey owner Sean Knepp handles bees and bottles honey. He says although floodwaters destroyed many beehives around the state, there's still a light at the end of the tunnel.
Fortunately, the bee population, I feel, is doing quite fine. They proliferate like rabbits, so while we may quite often have severe losses, we can quadruple our numbers every year if we would like.
But as for crops, it may take a bit longer.
But it might take, as many as 2 to 3 years to kind of get everything back up to the original quantities that we had pre-Hurricane Irma, because it really is that affecting.
Kim White also points out that we are likely to see even greater economic losses as they account for all the loss of future production and then, of course, the huge cost to rebuild infrastructure. The Sarasota County Jail is nearing capacity. Local lawmakers are trying to come up with a solution. And as of Tuesday, there was a couple. They can either build a larger jail or reduce the number of inmates through a rehabilitation program. Now, a new jail would cost taxpayers roughly $80 million. And a lot of the inmates are repeat offenders who are committing minor crimes simply to fill their opioid addiction.
I believe that we could probably look at least 100 beds that we could open back up if we're able to get a program going.
While eager to learn specifics, commissioners are open to the idea of sentences that involve less jail time and more recovery time. There is no dollar amount on a recovery program because one has not been established. Toxic waste sites in Texas were flooded or damaged when Hurricane Harvey struck the region weeks ago. The EPA approved a $115 million cleanup plan this week for one of the affected toxic waste sites. A spot of water near Houston was put on the EPA's Superfund list almost a decade ago. Well, yesterday, its cleanup was approved. It was Harvey's floods that gave it priority status. One sample of the lake showed toxic levels 3,000 times above the allowable amount, and clusters of neighborhoods near the area have filed lawsuits blaming the toxic water for cancer.
I've had a lot of friends that have died, and on one block, 5 people died of cancer.
This is the greatest day in the history of this long battle and in the future because of what it means not just to the San Jacinto River but Galveston Bay.
The cleanup will involve damming off the contaminated area, draining it, excavating it from river mud, and then putting it all back together. The estimated cost of $115 million will be paid by the 2 companies held responsible. On the West Coast, LAX has a plan to improve its response times to sick or injured guests at the airport. That plan involves bicycles and motorized carts.
The typical traveler here does not want to take the time to be assessed. They want to catch their flight. So we're raising the level of our expertise in that area by having a nurse practitioner come out here and do a patient assessment. And we can put the traveler at ease by saying, you've been looked at by an EMS professional, you're fine to travel. Or conversely, if we find something serious, we're going to try to emphasize to that patient, you need to go to the hospital.
LAX sees 200,000 passengers each day, plus employees. The LA Fire Department says sending rescue ambulances to the airport has been neither cost nor time efficient. This pilot program launched yesterday will be reevaluated in 6 months. Starting next year, for the first time in its more than 100-year history, the Boy Scouts of America will admit girls into its Cub Scout programs, and then in 2019 it will create a new program for older girls. North of the border, Scouts Canada has been completely co-ed since 1998. But in the United States, the Boy Scouts plan to keep the same name, and boys and girls will still be separated into single-gender groups for most activities, especially overnight camping trips.
Our character education program is so vital and so strong. Lots of girls and lots of families have wanted to be a part of it.
The Boy Scouts say that membership has fallen about 40% from its peak. The Girl Scouts do not plan to admit boys, saying that research has had confirmed that girls are more likely to reach their full potential when in a girl-only space. I don't know. I am not a fan of this. As a Girl Scout mom,
I'm not sure that that's exactly 100% true.
That girls need girls only to learn well?
Yeah, that there's evidence that single-sex educational experiences are beneficial or they're not beneficial.
But
I think
it's okay to have your own space.
On both sides.
I wonder if this comes to when people are identifying with other genders, if then they want to be part of a different group, if that may have led to it.
Might be. Might also be public perception and lawsuits.
Yeah.
So I don't
Does
know.
anything stay the same?
I don't think so.
Starting to feel very old.
I think so. I know. We have some beautiful weather in store for you this afternoon. I think we'll have some temperatures that'll again be kind of warm, up to the 90s. I hope you're a warm weather fan. If you're not, wait till the weekend and things will change a little bit. We'll talk about that in a sec.
All right, at least we have a nice start this morning. Also, we will take a look at first alert traffic and the latest on the 10 fraternity brothers accused of hazing when we come back.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
71-degree air temperature, dew point down to 70. I am hoping we break that 70-degree mark and get into the 60s for a dew point. I'll take 69 or 68 for a dew point any day of the week. We'll see if it happens. We have a 96% relative humidity, but a north wind now at about 5. That northerly wind, that northeasterly wind is a big help in reducing our dew point values and the amount of humidity in the air. Plus, we got some drier air that's filtering down from aloft, so you know, it's all good in terms of helping to lower the humidity today, because we need to do that. If we can lower the humidity, then we'll be looking at a much better chance of getting those feels-like temperatures down to more comfortable levels as we head into the afternoon there. We have a daytime high today that'll top out warm. The forecast calling for, we'll say it probably around the 90-degree mark. Across the region, we have nice 70 degrees right now. In Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka coming in at 69, 71 in Parrish and Bradenton, 71 in Venice, Northport at 71 as well. Forecast looks like this. We have not much in the way of rainfall across the state of Florida, except in the very southern tip, where a little plume of moisture is starting to work its way in from the Atlantic. Now, that is going to be kind of important for our weekend forecast. Even for tomorrow's forecast, we're looking at, oh, I don't know why we jumped back there. Let's keep moving forward if we may. We're looking at quiet conditions here on the Suncoast with not much in the way of any kind of rainfall around. My computer has ghosts today, it looks like. Low pressure area moving off to the north into the east, producing rain showers from the mid-Atlantic all the way up into the easternmost Great Lakes. That'll gradually drift off into down east Maine, producing rain showers there. The frontal boundary itself kind of meandering down through deep south and stalled out over parts of northern Florida and through the Panhandle, will eventually just fall apart. High pressure brings us that easterly wind or northeasterly wind again today, and a low pressure area brings us better rain chances as we head into the weekend. Sunny skies today, and as we head into the afternoon, a very, very low rain chance. Forecast calls for a northeast wind at about 10 to 15. We'll go from a light chop building to a moderate chop in the forecast. Looks like about a 20% chance of rain showers tomorrow. We'll do it, I think. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll bump it up further, up to about a 60 or 50 or 60 chance of rainfall Saturday and Sunday. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. Checking out First Alert traffic, we are seeing fairly quiet conditions on the roadways at this hour. Let's take a look at the maps, where right now we are looking at quiet conditions. A little bit of volume building on Bee Ridge right there, but for the most part, Sarasota certainly quiet, and I-75 looking good. Zooming in closer to Bradenton, a usual problem spot. It's State Road 70 and 301, where we're seeing a little bit of a backup. Other than that, things are moving well. It is 6:19, and in Louisiana, LSU fraternity brothers turned themselves into police after being charged in connection with a hazing death. ABC's Bess Casserly has a word with their attorneys.
21-year-old Zachary Hall was one of the first suspects to turn himself in Wednesday morning for charges related to the death of his fraternity brother, Maxwell Groover. But his attorney says he's innocent.
Well, I know that for a fact that he was not involved in any type of inappropriate conduct, any type of hazing. He doesn't do that kind of thing, and was not involved in any illegal activity on that evening, although he feels very badly for the loss of his fraternity brother and a friend.
However, the LSU police report paints a different picture, naming Hall as an active participant in the hazing. But it's this man, 19-year-old Matthew Nakan, who was fingered by his own fraternity brothers and pledges as the main aggressor in the warrants. Nakan is the only Phi Delta member charged with negligent homicide. The police report said Nakan was aggressive and yelling at pledges to drink during a hazing event that required pledges to recite the Greek alphabet. One pledge said Max Groover appeared to be singled out, stating that Groover was made to take at least 10 to 12 pulls of 190 proof liquor. The report says others were forced to take fewer chugs during the event called Bible study. Last night, fraternity members were told to turn themselves in to LSU police by noon on Wednesday. One by one, they did, most entering with their attorneys and leaving in handcuffs. 9 are facing misdemeanor charges, most likely looking at little more than a fine.
Hazing is not being charged with the murder or the death, and I think that's something that really needs to be kept in perspective, is the individuals that are being charged with hazing are not being charged with his death.
Max Groover's BAC level was more than 6 times the legal limit for an adult. The coroner reported it as .496.
A California college student injured in the Las Vegas massacre is filing a lawsuit. She is suing the hotel owners, the concert promoter, and a bump stock manufacturer, claiming they were all liable for the mass shooting. Among other things, the lawsuit accuses MGM of failing to respond in a timely manner to the shooting of a security officer who had gone in to check on an alert from another guest room. MGM is the parent company of Mandalay Bay. The officer was shot 6 minutes before the massacre started. 21-year-old Paige Gasper was shot in the right armpit during this attack.
We are a simple and humble family, and money is not the driving force behind us asking to be heard. Our driving force is wanting change in practices and security. When we buy a ticket to an event, we need to know that our safety is considered and protected. When we gather in masses, our protection should be paramount.
The lawsuit states that MGM's negligence enabled one of the guests to commit a mass shooting unencumbered. In addition to MGM, concert promoter Live Nation and Texas-based bump stock maker Slide Fire are named in that suit. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast at 6:22, TJ Holmes will have details of a federal lawsuit brought by the estate of Muhammad Ali against Fox Broadcasting Company. After this.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows. Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter mile north of University Parkway.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first.
She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Welcome back at 6:25. New developments in the sex abuse scandal involving movie mogul Harvey Weinstein. More women have come forward to accuse him of misconduct, and his own brother and business partner calls him a world-class liar. ABC's Lindsay Davis has video released outside Weinstein's house in Hollywood.
New video from TMZ of disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein on the streets of Los Angeles with police on the scene. The LAPD tells ABC News they were called to the area this morning after a family dispute involving Weinstein and his 22-year-old daughter. No arrests were made. Meanwhile, authorities are left answering questions about why Weinstein was not prosecuted after this secretly recorded audio during a 2015 NYPD sting operation.
Why yesterday you touched my breast?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that. Come on.
Are you used to that?
Yes, come in.
No, but I'm not used to that.
I won't do it again.
Today, the Manhattan DA defended its decision not to prosecute.
Obviously, he has some serious issues, and the tape is terrible. But I, as DA, have to be guided by the evidence and the elements of the crime.
Now Hollywood is hush hush no more. Similar stories are shared by more than 20 women who say they were sexually assaulted, harassed, or raped by Weinstein.
He comes back out and he's fully naked. And that's when I just thought, what is happening? How is this happening, and what is he going to do to me?
Many are now asking how this culture of complicity was able to persist for so long. Actor Seth MacFarlane revealing tonight he knew about the allegations for years and meant this moment at the Oscars as more of a jab than a joke.
Congratulations, you 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
MacFarlane tweeted that it came from a place of loathing and anger after his friend, actress Jessica Barth, told him that she had been sexually harassed by Weinstein in 2011. Weinstein has been fired and denies any allegations of non-consensual sex. Ben Affleck called Weinstein's actions sick, but then actress Rose McGowan tweeted and told the New York Times that she had told Affleck that Weinstein had behaved inappropriately with her years ago. And now Weinstein's wife of 10 years, fashion designer Georgina Chapman, tells People magazine she is leaving her husband.
And we will have more on that as the day goes on. It is 6:28, and the estate of former heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali is suing Fox, claiming they illegally used Ali's identity in a video before the Super Bowl broadcast in February. ABC's TJ Holmes has details in this morning's First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, this 3-minute video that aired before the Super Bowl could cost Fox Broadcasting Company $30 million.
Walk with me as I confront greatness.
Muhammad Ali's estate is suing the network, claiming the video uses Ali's name, image, and likeness as the centerpiece of its 3-minute promotional video without their permission.
There was no authorization for Fox to use Muhammad Ali's identity, which they used to promote themselves in their broadcast.
And why that amount? Well, the lawsuit points out Fox could have sold the 3 minutes it used for its promotional video to other advertisers for $30 million.
It stands to reason you don't give up a certain $30 million unless you feel you have a benefit at least equal to that amount.
And we'll have more on this lawsuit coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
More pet parents are turning to grain-free Blue Freedom to help their dogs be at their best. Made with the finest natural ingredients, Blue Freedom has no grains, no glutens, and for some dogs, there's no better diet.
How was your vacation?
The secret is ours.
It was great.
I want you to show me the way.
You have a big influence on your kids, so teach them the life lesson of cooking. Join the Ben's Beginners Movement at UncleBen's.com.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, President Trump boasts about tax reform and condemns the media while also making plans to cancel the Iran nuclear deal. Plus, what Sarasota County commissioners are saying to fix the parking problem in Siesta Key. And the monkey capital of the United States won a lawsuit this week that was trying to shut it down. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back on a Thursday morning. I'm Stephanie Roberts. Thanks for joining us. Ray Collins is having a couple of days off, but we have First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi with us once again this morning. And once again, we have a hot day on the way, although I will say right now, pretty nice out if you can get outside.
It is, but the fact is I'm completely intrigued by what the monkey capital of the world is.
Now, don't you want to know where it is?
I do. So we're going to get through this real quick so I can find out, okay? All right. We're looking at some fairly pleasant weather across the region. As Steph just mentioned, our dew points are a little bit lower, so it feels kind of comfortable outside right now. Morning commute should be A-OK just fine. take a look at the radar. You'll notice a few scattered showers down to the south of us. Those scattered showers part of a plume of moisture which will increase our weekend rain chances and cloud cover as well. That'll help lower our temperatures a bit. But satellite view right now shows a lot of blue sky and sunshine in store for us today. There's the cloud cover for the weekend, still out in Gulf Atlantic waters, but headed this way. We'll look for daytime highs that top out near the 90 mark, but a rain chance of only about 10%. So expect another warm one, but a pretty dry one today. Back to you, Steph.
All right, we're going to take a look at first alert traffic. We are looking right now at some heavier volume there on Bee Ridge Road, and it looks like things in Sarasota picking up as well around the 301 and 41 split. But for the most part, it is a quiet morning commute at this hour going north to Bradenton. A little bit of volume at 70 and 301, but no accidents on I-75, and we are mostly delay-free. It is 6:35 and topping our news this half hour. President Trump turns his attention to tax reform during an event in Pennsylvania Wednesday. But the president may have stepped on his own message before the event even started by threatening the public license of a major media network in the wake of reporting that the president has fake news. Meanwhile, the president is expected to announce a change to the Iran deal as early as this week. Lana Zach reports from Washington.
As the president campaigned for his tax deal,
we want lower taxes, bigger paychecks.
He also hinted at a major foreign policy change.
I'll also be announcing, as you know, my statement and what we'll be doing with respect to the Iran deal, speaking of badly negotiated deals, okay?
ABC News has learned the president is expected to decertify the Iran deal as early as Friday. But Democrats and some Republicans disagree, saying it's the best way to get international inspectors into those nuclear sites.
As flawed as the deal is, I believe we must now enforce the hell out of it.
Earlier in the day, the president vented his frustration with an NBC report that claimed U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson called the president a moron after he suggested increasing the U.S. nuclear stockpiles.
I never discussed increasing it. I want it in perfect shape. That was just fake news by NBC.
The president going further on Twitter, suggesting NBC and others could lose their ability to broadcast, tweeting, with all the fake news coming out of NBC and the networks, at what point is it appropriate to challenge their license? Bad for country. In response, FCC Commissioner Jessica Rosenworcel tweeted, "Not how it works," and "Freedom of the press is a cornerstone of our democracy. Hope my @FCC colleagues can all be on the same page with respect to the First Amendment."
And the president's words now has Republican Senator Ben Sasse asking, quote, "Mr. President, are you recanting the oath you took on January 20th to preserve, protect, and defend the First Amendment?" Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
New reports are showing it could be even harder to sign up for Obamacare this fall. More than 8 in 10 groups that help people enroll for Obamacare say they are getting less federal funding from the Trump administration. That's according to a new report from the Kaiser Family Foundation, a nonpartisan research group. The Trump administration announced in late August that it would reduce the funding by more than 40%. The Kaiser survey says that despite the funding cuts, most groups will continue to operate in 2018, but nearly all groups expect to lay off staff, reduce their advertising, and curtail the outreach programs. Facebook's chief operating officer Sheryl Sandberg met with House members who are investigating the company's Russia-linked ads. She told them the social media giant is serious about dealing with the issue. Sandberg also said Facebook is working hard to ensure Americans understand what the propaganda is that they may or may not be reading. Closer to home, parking on Siesta Key is an ongoing problem, and Sarasota County Commissioners are discussing some of the ways this problem could be handled during a workshop. ABC 7's Rick Adams was there.
Well, parking on Siesta Key, especially here at Siesta Beach, can be a headache, especially during the season. Right now, Sarasota County Commissioners are looking at some possible solutions. At times, finding a parking spot on Siesta Key can be next to impossible year-round and definitely during the busy season.
Everybody wants to go to the #1 beach in the nation and experience it, and there's, it brings with it cars and traffic and congestion, and we're trying to find solutions to that.
Some of the solutions from a comprehensive study that Carolyn Brown presented to Sarasota County Commissioners on Wednesday include paid parking, park and ride, a ferry service, bike sharing, and regular bus routes. Vice Chair Nancy Dietert says the park and ride is one solution that could work, but she isn't completely sold on paying for parking.
I don't live on the Key, so I'm not a big fan of charging for parking. The surprising news is that people who do live on the Key want us to charge for parking.
For Jamie Luthold and her husband William, they visit Siesta Key a few times a year. She says that parking is a little challenging during the season and sometimes even off-season, but she tells us it just takes a little riding around to find a spot. They're both not fans of paid parking.
I think paid parking would take away from just the convenience and the fact it would be a little bit more stressful. A park and ride might not be all that bad if it was maybe at no cost.
And Sarasota County Commissioners tell us they will continue to talk about this parking issue and explore some of the solutions. Reporting from Siesta Key, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Here's something you might not know. Monkey farming has become a lucrative industry near Naples. Rural Hendry has become the monkey breeding capital of the United States, and it looks like will keep its reigning title after winning a lawsuit over 2 of its monkey farms. The Naples Daily News reports that the initial suit in 2014 charged the county for illegally approving a monkey breeding farm on the Lee County border without warning residents in the area. They're not exactly quiet little guys. It was later amended to include another farm near Immokalee. A Florida Circuit Court judge initially ruled in favor of the county last year, and after going back and forth in appeals court, no longer appeals are possible as of yesterday. So let the monkeys live on. Did you have any idea they were breeding monkeys? Just to ourselves?
What for, I wonder?
I didn't ask that question, and well, you know, there's a lot of medical studies in the world.
Hate to be Johnny Downer here. But
right. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, so, well, anyway, we have some sunshine in store for you this afternoon. I don't know, maybe it's just to propagate the species and supply, you know,
absolutely. There's a
good
lot of zoos in the world.
Possibly.
Except that I think they come from their native countries, typically, not Naples.
That's probably true. We have sunshine and some fair weather across the region today. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, and also coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, First Alert Traffic, and we hear from the granddaughter of one of the victims in the Florida nursing home deaths following Hurricane Irma.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Mom, thank God you're going to be okay.
So relieved. But you both should know when my time comes, I have a final expense policy with Senior Care USA.
Is Senior Care USA the life insurance policy that helps loved ones pay for funeral expenses and other debts? Bill and I called to get more information.
Yes, and there's an immediate payout of up to $50,000.
If you're over 50, call Senior Care USA now to learn more about final expense insurance plans.
There's no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing condition like I do. When I called, the quote was free. And there was no pressure.
I found out that policies start for as little as 35 cents a day. Rates will never increase and coverage won't decrease.
I'm going to call today.
Ask about the free prescription discount card. Oh, I'm so glad you'll be taken care of.
Call 1-800-975-0536. That's 1-800-975-0536.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now
Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
71-degree air temperature, but that's only half the story. Check out the dew point now at 70. Feels very comfortable. In fact, ready for this? Becky in Old Mayaca called in, one of our long-time weather watchers, over 20 years, and reported her temperature out there in the country coming in at 62 degrees. Yay! That's right. Stephanie's giving a round of applause there for the cooler temperatures. North wind coming in at about 5. Now, I don't want to mislead you. We are not heading to a cool day today. We are heading to a day that will be warm with a daytime high coming in at about probably around 90 degrees or so. So a warm afternoon in store for us. We are looking at daytime highs that top out, as I mentioned, very warm indeed. 70 degrees the air temperature in Wauchula, Arcadia, 68 degrees Mayaca, Parrish at 70, 71 in Bradenton, and 70 in Venice. A little bit of cloud cover and a little bit of rain showers down in the southern tip of the state. That's kind of a harbinger of what's coming our way by the time we get into, well, I think even Friday night, but certainly by Saturday. We have a plume of moisture that extends way out into the Atlantic, and all of that gradually drifting in this direction. Most of it will be to our south, but it will be far enough north that it will impact our weekend weather. Not much in the way of any rain showers around here currently, but as I mentioned, that's about to change. We have a frontal boundary back behind which is some cooler air that's brought some, I guess, welcome relief to a lot of the plains and parts of the deep south in terms of kind of a break from the intense heat that they've been experiencing. They'll see warm temperatures again by this weekend, but at least for the next day or two, they get a little bit of a break from that heat. The frontal boundary stalled out over North Florida, and that's eventually going to just wash away. High pressure brings us this easterly wind and kind of keeps pumping in that moisture from out in Atlantic waters. The little area of low pressure scoots past our south, and basically we get a rainfall chance that bumps up 4 or 5 times from what we'll see today. Look for sunny skies, low rain chances, and lower relative humidity today. That'll be the name of the game. Forecast looks like this for boaters. Expect a northeast wind surging a little bit, 10 to 15 this morning. 15 tonight, light to moderate chop. And the forecast for the week ahead, warm for the next couple of days, near 90, and then we'll lower the temperatures, but we'll increase rain chances for the weekend. Steph?
All right, looks good. Checking out traffic, we do have a bit of a backup right there in Bradenton. You can see on Cortez Road things starting to slow down a little bit as well. We're seeing that over some of the bridges. When we take a look at the big picture, things are moving well in Sarasota with building volume south of Fruitville up and down 301 heading down toward the trail. But things on I-75 looking good. Always good to see that, and not as much of a backup on State Road 70 this morning as we've seen throughout the week. So hopefully we can keep having that smooth morning commute. In this hour's Health Smart, 93-year-old Miguel Antonio Franco was one of the first 11 patients who died when the air conditioning went out at the Rehabilitation Center at the Hollywood Hills Retirement Home after Hurricane Irma. ABC's Peter Burke spoke to his family members about the justice they hope for in Health Smart.
I just want them to rot in jail at this point for murdering people, because that's what this is, a murder.
Strong words from Erica Navarro. Her grandfather, 93-year-old Miguel Antonio Franco, was one of the first 11 patients who died after the AC went out at the Rehabilitation Center at Hollywood Hills after Hurricane Irma. This week, tragedy hit this family again. Navarro's grandmother, 90-year-old Cecilia Franco, passed away. She was also a patient at the nursing home.
I just close my eyes and I see my grandfather's face. My grandmother always caressing my hair. That's what we used to do. I used to lay on her lap and she used to do that.
Tonight, the Franco family amending their initial wrongful death lawsuit to add Mrs. Franco. Family attorney Curtis Minor.
This sadly may not be the last person who dies as a result of the terrible negligence that took place at that nursing home.
At 6:49 in entertainment news, Caitlyn Jenner is helping the transgender community in Los Angeles. Yesterday, she visited a medical clinic to speak to her staff about their impact on transgender men and women. She met with members of the St. John's Transgender Health Program, a group her foundation is helping fund. In turn, the center is helping thousands of transgender patients get access to health care all across Los Angeles.
The LA area has been kind of a sanctuary in a lot of ways for the trans community. That's why there's so many here.
Recently, Jenner has been considering running for U.S. Senate in California, but she says her ultimate goal is to help the transgender community. She's not sure if that can happen from inside Washington. Bruce Springsteen's one-man show is smashing Broadway box office records, and it isn't even open yet officially. It earned more than $2 million last week. At this rate, the Boss's 18-week run could easily rake in north of $40 million. If you're lucky to snag one of the less than 1,000 seats per show before it closes in February, expect to dive deep into your pocketbook. The average admission just shy of $500. Still ahead, we'll update your top headlines and the latest Hurricane Irma evacuees come back home. We'll tell you who they are after this.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599. 800-570-7599.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better. With amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today, A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information when severe weather threatens the Suncoast. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Welcome back at 6:54, and here are some of the top stories we're following for you on the Suncoast today. New evacuation orders overnight have forced thousands of residents in California to flee their homes. Several counties in wine country at a red flag warning, the highest alert by the National Weather Service. 10 fraternity brothers have turned themselves in after authorities charged them in connection with a hazing death. Hazing is a misdemeanor charge, but one of the 10 suspects faces an additional felony charge of negligent homicide. And as the president campaigns for his tax bill, he also hinted at a major foreign policy change. ABC News has learned that the president is expected to decertify the Iran nuclear deal this week. We're going to take a final look at traffic this morning, where right now we are looking at pretty decent conditions, building volume at 301 and 75, also at State Road 64 and 301 and State Road 70. Looking at the bigger picture across the area, things look fine in Sarasota with no accidents or delays on I-75. John?
Nice day shaping up for us. Lower relative humidity will make it feel pretty comfortable with those feels-like temperatures this afternoon. But still, air temperatures will be warm, coming in around 91 degrees or so. Over the next several days, temperatures will be warm, but they will be declining over the weekend with a little extra cloud cover and rain.
And finally this morning, the latest Hurricane Irma evacuees were finally able to return home Wednesday. They're 5 chimps at Zoo Miami. It's the first time they've been able to come back after the storm ravaged the park. Since Irma, the chimps have been staying in holding facilities, and they didn't get to play out in the exhibit due to all the downed trees and other debris. But they were getting cabin fever, according to a Zoo Miami ambassador. We can understand that. And the zoo will open to the public for the first time since the storm this weekend. Yeah, you forget about things like the zoos and the animals. I know Jungle Garden here had a fair amount of damage, and it took them a few weeks to get everybody out and about. But you know, we don't want to be stuck in the house. They don't want to be stuck in the cages.
Exactly, and it's a lot of work protecting all those animals against, you know, perhaps a breach in their domain. So, you know, it's tough. I remember down in Miami during, I guess it was Andrew, that the gates kind of broke open to the reptile exhibit.
Oh, lovely.
Remember? And that's what caused, to a large part, all of the problems with snakes we have.
Yeah. Very interesting. All right, Good Morning America's up next. Have a great day. A gorgeous start on a Thursday morning.
That's pretty.